Welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time we have a band from Switzerland. Mind you, this ain't no Dark Space nor Celtic Frost or Samal, but a little bit newer generation. This one is Wacht from early 2000s with the new MCD called Rumur, destin. Pardon for my not so good Switzerlandian Swiss language. I mean, there are plenty. Now, this comes with a rather nice looking digipack. Actually, 3-folding with rather thick packaging in a way. Way more than your typical one. Including, the CD, the packaging, and then we have this booklet. And this one is quite thick, which you can pretty much see now that I'm browsing it here for you. Features nice layout with some lyrics in no English here this time. So either you go for the physical product and start bouncing your lyrics in, or then you just do a little bit of pausing here and do your Google translation work like that. Now, this might look a little bit artistic when it comes to the design and imagery and layout and just everything. But that kind of could be a little bit of misleading when you're listening to the actual music. While you might have all these scythes here and veiled musicians, and this could give you a little bit of a hipsteric feeling, this music is in fact quite aggressive, fast tempo black metal with a little bit of melodies here and there, including keyboards. What it seems like on first go, or especially with the first few songs, it might seem like this is just those one-trick ponies where the tempo is, fast and the music is aggressive and all that stuff. But what really happens is that this has more layers than that. But a quick recap to the band's history. What started in 2006 and recorded its first demo in 2007, and back then it seems, now this is according to Metal Archives anyway, was a duo for a few years, expanded into different territory later on. Now that is, if you take a look at the current lineup from 2012 onwards, they started adding members. So by this album, anyways, it's a 5-man band. Anyway, according to Metal Archives, I haven't really cross-checked whether the facts here and on site matter, because that goes kind of beyond the scope of this review anyway. Now, what is also worth mentioning is that there are quite a lot of demos and splits and other non-full-length albums or releases by this band. Now, there's a lot, dozens and dozens, and it seems like this band doesn't really hold itself back when it comes to releasing music, which can be, kind of a double-edged sword. On the other hand, if you're good, what do you do? And there's critical ear and mind, no matter, just put it all out there. But on the other hand, it might result a little bit more like quantity over quality. 4 full albums in anyway, roughly on average every 3 years. And by 2022, only 1 album, or MCD technically speaking, is out, and it's this one. Now, mind you, this one is worth a full album if you really take a look at the full length of the release, almost 40 minutes in, including 8 tracks, once again including a cover song. Now, like I said, the music is fast, it's aggressive, and it's kind of like coming all over you. I mean, that is, the aggressiveness is just, kind of wholesome. But at the same time, this isn't really a Swiss version of Marduk. So while it's aggressive, while it's kind of dominating, and it's all over the place, this is a little bit more of a mess when it comes to the production and the sound. It's a little bit, kind of unclear in a ways. I mean, it's not like sharp and crisp clear like, some of those Marduk ones or Dark Funeral ones, but this is more like almost going to the dissonant ways in the terms of overall production. Mind you, when you really pay more attention to that, things start to fall in place, and this actually makes more sense. And of course, there are those slower parts, including the kind of soothing moments and the keyboards and all that stuff. So it's not just one-trick pony. But the aggressiveness and the sheer violence and fast tempo might just give you the feeling that it's all about just that. Now, my first impression of the album is that this is really good. A few spins later, I must say I'm a little bit more negative than that. Usually it goes to different ways, but sometimes it goes this way. And I must say I'm not overly too happy about this release. While this is definitely on the good side, that is, this is definitely quite a decent release and worth listening to, I must say maybe my first impression a little bit led me off. That is, I was worse like, wow, I really need to get this. And that's why I requested this album for review. So once again, my instincts never go off in the sense like, I mean, if I really like something and I request it for a review, I know it's gonna be good, or at least somewhat interesting. And by no means, this is exactly that. So this is definitely on the positive side. I want to emphasize that so you don't think I'm going all negative here. This is way better than just some mediocrity happening here. But this isn't exactly a great album. And one of the reasons is exactly that production, which is a little bit mess. And the other things is maybe those dominating fast tempo aggressive parts are exactly too dominating. So there could be more diversity, there could be more, changes rather than, kind of a one-trick pony kind of a thing. Overall, definitely worth listening to. It just might take a little bit of time to just, calibrate your brain and ears for this kind of rawish, melodic, fast tempo black metal. So definitely not for those who are entry-level black metal listeners like, hey, I want something melodic and nice and all that stuff. There is nothing nice in that. And that actually works for the favor of the album, because this is not for your mainstream black metal, if there is one, to begin with. But an interesting release, and definitely opening the way for the band to just, expand their audience with this kind of music. After all, I had no idea prior to this one that the band actually has so many releases out. But to be honest, I don't have the luxury of time to check out all of them. Maybe later on I will expand my knowledge of the band, and maybe this will happen to other people here as well. But definitely give this one a chance. You will find links provided in the description box. Definitely a decent one, but not a great one, being the final verdict. Check out the links provided for more information and music. I hope you enjoy it.